छाया आसमां देखो झूमता गगन है छाया आसमां देखो झूमता गगन
Hello, hello, hello. Getting the cedar going on here. This is G. You're watching Allastrology. Is there anybody out there? Hello? Anybody? This is G. Allastrology. One more time. Free readings, free astrology readings. These are speed readings. Get your digits to me. Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. I'm messing with my lighting. Hold on a second. You can email them to me if you don't feel good about putting them in the chat, but the chat is the queue. So if your name's not in the queue, you won't be getting a reading. You have to jump on that queue, the chat of the live stream, get on there, say hello. You don't got to be super social. But when I do call your name and it's your turn, because we go first come, first serve, we go in order. And if you do not respond, if you do not let me know that you're still here, then I go to the next name. There's no waiting around. There's no, oh my God, you walked away. And that's fine. People have to walk away. I get it. You got a life. But when you come back, just say, I'm sorry, I had to leave. I'm back. And you put me back in the queue, right? So we can all just understand some of the simple stuff, some of the basics. And trying to do 3,000 things at once. Let's get the lights going here. Okay. We've just done some of my sacred stuff. And I think I'm ready. Let me see if there's anybody here. Other thing too, it's running around along the bottom there. Speed reading. Some people are fortunate where they have the means to send a gift to the channel. If you do that, you can get a longer reading. I spend more time with those who do that. But not everybody can afford that, and I get that. That's why we're here, folks. Because astrology readings aren't cheap, and I know this. So let me find the chat and see if we got anybody here. If you're in the chat and you want to say hi, you're just here to watch, and you're not going to take a turn, please put I'm passing. That helps us all to understand better. Okay. Okay. To UK. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay. Very good. Make sure that the name that the email that you've emailed your digits to, make sure that it matches the name you're showing up in the chat. And if it doesn't, which is fine, sometimes those are different, you got to let me know who that is. Do you follow? So that I'm not looking at a chat, calling out a name, and then, somebody else's doesn't respond because it's not the name that you follow. It has to match. You just have to say, hey, gee, this is so-and-so in the chat. I understand if you want to keep it private and you don't want people to know your digits. You don't want to know people. Totally get that. That privacy is my middle name. Trust me. So let me find where the chat is here so I can see you guys and see if there's, Okay, hold on. I got like a lot going on here. All right, here we go. Let's get this going. We got some comments. Somebody's here. Princess AK, thank you. Yes, Princess, can you please re-give me your digits so we can try that hot mess again? I think it was that day because yours was not the only chart that I had a problem with that day. So you're here, you're number one. Hello, Princess. Hi, 507 May. My hello with a question mark. What are you questioning? Are you questioning? You're saying hello to me? Just hey, hi. Don't question it. Did miss the live or is it just starting? It is just starting. So I got you. I saw your okay, I got your digits, Autumn. Very good. It matches. Thank you. That makes my life easier. I don't have to be a detective. Super detective. Gemini rising. How the heck are you doing? Christy, hey, what's going on? I see you. Pizza. You. What kind of pizza are you bringing? You better bring some good stuff. I'm frozen. Ah. Oh, you know what? Yeah, the internet, it's all good on my end. But if you're having some stuff on your end, and I'm not to say that I don't always, sometimes stuff happens. That's just the internet. Anytime we have solar flares and comets flying overhead, the tech crap is a pain in the ass. So I'm assuming y'all can hear me, right, Christy? Yeah, you can hear me. Gemini, AK, Princess AK. Gemini's like, yeah, let me bring on some pizza. All right, so let's double check and get these digits. Let's hope today's a better day for drawing up charts. All right, so let's do this. Princess, did you resubmit your info for me? Let me see the info that I have here, and let's see if the system corrected it. I don't know. It was just the weirdest shit. Okay, so I'm going to try to move. We're going to move fast. We got to do speed readings. Princess AK. Miss. Maybe it's under Miss AK or something like that. Okay, so I'm not seeing. Yeah, what's the name that it's under? I know y'all think I should have this memorized. Okay, I'm sorry that I don't. My brain isn't there. It doesn't have that memorized. It just doesn't. What my brain tends to memorize is once I see the chart, I'm like, oh, I know this chart. That's how my brain works. Yeah, I can't remember the different names. Yeah, it's not. So Princess, okay, maybe Princess decided to come back. I'm not seeing, let me try the phone. Maybe we are on 2 live streams, right? Vertical, horizontal, absolutely. Let me see if there's some digits I'm not getting or if there is some chat comments that I don't see. All right, you got me on the vertical. I see that one. Okay. All right, let me do a thumbs up too. That might help. Okay, is there anybody here? Christy says, I'm passing, just watching. Excellent. Autumn, you sent your digits, but are you here? Princess AK, are you here? Like roll call. You got to put your name, say hello back into the comments. Autumn said she's still here. Okay. So Autumn, we're going to get your chart ready because Princess AK hasn't commented since the 1st. And that's fine. We'll come back around. So I got your digits. Let me create. Now give me one word what you want me to focus on, Autumn. If you don't do that, then you're going to hear whatever jumps out at me. That's kind of how I do it. But some people want me to focus on something. So like I said, give me one word. Let's see. Let's get you drawn up. Have you seen your chart before, Autumn? That's kind of important too. I mean, if you haven't, that's fine. And for anybody watching, if you don't know your birth time, then just be straight about that. Say, I don't know my birth time. That's best. And we'll pull you up a noon hour chart. It won't be as accurate. However, the planets will likely all be correct. Maybe the moon might be off a little bit. It's just the houses won't be. But we'll just read you for the planets and what's going on. All right. This is so great. You had your birth time. Good job. Yeah, it's crazy how people just don't. I mean, I guess it's not crazy. How many people have their birth time memorized? Detroit. Yeah. All right. So the chart I'm coming up with here. Wow. I think I should have a hat on my head. I forgot. All right. So this chart, this is showing a Leo rising, Leo ascendant, Leo rising, a Pisces moon at 4 degrees. And yes, a Cancer sun at 11 degrees. Does that about sound right for you? If you've seen your chart before, you would know. If you haven't seen your chart before, well, then it's best for me to just read the basic chart and you say whether I did your chart before. All right. So I have done your chart before, but this is a new system. I'm in a different, everything's different now than whatever I had you in the system before. So with that said, let me get this on the screen so you can see it and you let me know if you think this is you. And if not, well, yeah. So we got you there with Leo rising. Make sense? Leo rising makes sense for you? Yeah, Gemini, for you as well, Gemini, I don't think I have you in this new system either. I could, but I don't think so, right? Can't remember the last time I looked at your chart. Might have been a couple months. Yeah, a lot has changed in that time. All right, let's see here. Excellent. She says that's me. All right, that's phenomenal. So real quick, let me kind of familiarize myself. You're 0 degrees, Jupiter. Okay, so Jupiter jumped out. Opposite. Got it. Okay, so 29, 29. Yeah, it's opposition with your Mars. All right. So Sun 11, that's water. Okay, so you've got the nodes. Okay. Ooh, okay. North node in Pisces going to be on your moon soon. I mean, it's conjunct your moon right now, actually. North node on your Pisces. So that's home and family and mom energy. A ton of stuff about the past that you might have understanding about. There might be even some forgiveness and healing that occurs since this is in your 8th house based on this birth time, if it's accurate. But it can also be a placement of inheritances when we talk about the 8th house energy. And with the nodes right there, right now, the node is at 6. This is at 4. See that? Yeah. Of course, it is also, taxes and all that fun stuff. But it is about healing. Deep emotions, wounds from the past, change and transformation, big time. Now, I'm looking at all right, I'm looking up there. All right, now Pluto may come to light for you just a little bit. You have a 7-degree 11th house cusp line in your Gemini energy there. And Pluto's riding along over here at 5. So when you have that big conjunction, this thing about health possibly and work and friends and group energy, beliefs are going to be part of this. Possibly even dreams, dream job type of energy. But Pluto brings in a change, which means it's going to change that dream for you. So whatever your dream is, whatever your beliefs are, now some people, this can be involved with their religious belief, their spiritual belief, whatever, however you define it for yourself, but different and unconventional. So sound and music and the nervous system and your health. Sound would be probably a huge deal for you, especially since right now we have Neptune in Aries at 3. You see that? You see the matchup with the Neptune up in the sky in your natal Neptune. So I don't know if music, dreams about the future, but a creativity, amping up creativity. It can even in some people, some people, it could even be a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more theatrical. It can express that way if we are not aware of it. But release, this is a big one. It dissolves whatever that energy was. And so in the third house, my thoughts, my mind, my communications, this can be siblings because this is in the placement of domestic energy, but also your work and your job. So I would expect some sort of a change, even if it's not like a full on, that job, I'm gone. It can be departments, tasks, projects within the job, but it's psychological wherever Pluto goes. A lot of folks have been asking about that. Wherever Pluto touches, yeah, you can expect change. But remember, it's kind of like a change we normally are initiating. Back 10, 20 years ago, no, not so much. These were changes that people they were forced upon them, really. But I think now because we live really internally and we're really kind of self focused, um, that I think the Pluto energy kind of gives us nowadays this heads up, especially in Aquarius, which is shocking and surprising, but flashes of insight, deep insight, possibly deep inspiration connecting to your Neptune. Okay. Now, this can all have to do with health too. So keep that in mind about health. And when somebody has a Neptune in the third house for their health, that can be tricky because Neptune normally makes things fuzzy and we can't see beyond it with Neptune energy. It's confusing. So there can be a bit of a mystery. We can be, oh, we don't know what this is. Some people with Neptune energy in their sixth, or, whenever there's a communication with Neptune, within the medical field, sometimes it's like things that they just can't be diagnosed. But Uranus energy, Aquarius energy, yeah, usually the nervous system, stuff like that, we can get easily frazzled, feel like we're plugged in, which would create anxiety, possibly even. But remember now, a big part of all of our chart and our energy is that these are the impressions. They don't control us. They are impressions. What we do with those impressions, how we handle those influences, is up to each of us independently. Okay. So the big thing for you, since you said, oh, I want to know about the year. Well, we don't have time for that, but Pluto is a long, long cycle, and it's going to go back over your Neptune. So this Pluto energy in the house of work and health is there to make changes. And you probably already got nudges. You already probably got, like I said, maybe the inspiration, the download, the insights, the flashes of ideas, because that's Aquarius, ideas. And this is also the service industry and humanitarian stuff and philanthropy, serving the whole, serving the group, while at the same time serving people who are important to me on a small level. Volunteer type of work. Pluto is going to make some significant changes, and it might feel like confusion because of the Neptune factor for you. So as far as a timeline, it's not going to be right away because Pluto is going to take a minute. It's got to get to that 3 degrees. And so you are looking August. You'll start feeling it stronger in August. Yeah. So from the beginning of August till about the last week of August is when that Pluto is going to have a strong connection with the Neptune. And this is with your work and with your health. This is with your daily routines, right? This could even be pet energy. Remember, this is friends as well, friends that are part of that day-to-day routine, friends that you may work with. This is energy of individualized, individuated. Like I'm here's the group, but I am the unique person in this group. Not that everybody else isn't unique, right? We're all unique, but possibly sometimes we need help to find out how to stand out within that crowd without putting out somebody else's light. That's really important with the timeline and that we're in, especially with Neptune energy. Sound and music will be huge, and theater and all that, if we're not using it as a creative thing, but it can also put us under the influence of substances. So these are just little tidbits along the way of things where if I know I have an inclination, I know this is something I got to be cautious about. Because with Neptune in the 6th house of health, those would be powerful influences on a person's body. And they might be even a little bit like shocking, but very unique creativity and very unique patterns in domestic life and daily routines even. So look forward to that. And odds are that a month before August, there's a trigger to karma in your chart. And this also has to do with home and family and emotions. This is connected to home and family. So the past might come back, obviously, with the word karma, but I think it's going to possibly be, oh, I don't know. There might be some surprises even a month before that. So when you talk about things are changing and happening, and there's a lot going on, Uranus is going to be working with you too. So that even takes you back further to like July, all the way to, yeah, all the way to July. Big month comes July, because you'll have Uranus talking to the karma energy in your chart. So new, exciting, and different and group energy is on the menu for you. And normally with that energy, as long as you move forward in a way where you are trying to be, not the word fair, but you're not trying to step on anybody. Like you're not trying to do your thing while squashing somebody else. Like uplifting others is the best way to use this kind of energy, because when, the whole saying, the tide rises, all boats rise type of thing. And that's probably going to be really important, because Pluto says, if you abuse the power I've given you, I got to take you down. And not like death down, but it takes you down a notch for sure. All right. So that's what you have to look forward to come July, August, September. That's kind of a lot going on. Okay, so we did Princess. She wasn't here. This person, don't know who they are. They didn't leave their digits. We took care of Autumn. Gemini, you're next. Gemini, do I have your digits? Christy's passing. Gemini, you would be up next. Let me see if I got Gemini in here. Is Gemini still here? If I call your name, you got to let me know if you're still here. You got to say, hey, hello. Gemini? Let me take a peek. I'm scrolling. Gemini gave me her digits. All right, Gemini, are you here? Uranus going into my sign. Okay. All righty. Excellent. Yeah, I'm still doing readings. We just started. I'm interested. Chart. Okay, you got your digits. Good. All right, Gemini's still here. Great. Hey, Sinister Days, how are you doing? What's the tea? What's the tea? What's the tea? I see you. What's the tea? Yep, we're going order. So just hang in there. And let me go and take a peek and see if we got Gemini on here. Gemini's curious about Uranus. Let me see if you're in the R's. Yeah, I don't think you're here, Gemini rising. You're in the other system. It's in the other room on another device. Yeah. All right, let's get this going on here. Okay, so Gemini, it's been so long. Okay. September 30th. Okay. We're almost there. Man, we had like a beautiful day. What's today? Tuesday? Yesterday? It was gorgeous. It was like 76. It felt so wonderful. And then it all switched and it went into the 40s and rain. And it was just like, oh, okay. All right, Cincinnati. Yeah, I'm glad you spelled that, because yeah, my spelling got atrocious. All right, Gemini, you remember your chart? Let's see if I remember your chart. It's been a while. This is not showing a Gemini rising. All right, let me repeat your birth digits. September 30th, 1972. 10:35. This is where it's wrong. It has you as an AM. Okay, let's fix that. Yeah, this chart showed you as a Scorpio rising. I'm like, no, that definitely is not Gemini rising's chart. All right, 15 degrees of Gemini. Does that sound about right? Saturn in the first house. Now I remember. Yep, this is you. Even though the digits. Let me see if I can get that up here. Yeah. Gemini rising. Is that about right? 15 degrees on the ascendant? Yes. It has been a minute. All right, let's get this going so we can get to the rest of the folks. I see you at MD. Yeah, I'll just hang in there. We're going to do this. We're doing speed readings, so we're all good. Let's take a peek real quick here. So Gemini rising, Aquarius, because you were talking Uranus. Oh, right, in your 8th house, 9th house. Okay, 9th house. Okay, so in this chart, let's see, you don't have anything there. Oh, I see why. Okay, you do have Pluto, which brings about change. Oh, it's in the 5th house. All right. So your children, your fun, your joy, your romance, your creativity, as that Pluto retrogrades, it is going to go back. You have Pluto at 2, you've got Juno at 2. I'm looking for all the aspects to it of where it's going to go. I don't think it goes back to 2 degrees though. And with Pluto, it's all about the minutes. And so I don't think you're going to actually be. All right, so let me go check Uranus now. I just had to double check all of that. Uranian energy, that's Gemini. Okay, so that's going to be in your 12th and it's going to stay there for a little bit. Because your 12th house doesn't begin until 15 degrees in this chart. You follow? So what will happen though is the opposition, which is what might be your concern. There's an opposition at 2 degrees to your Juno. That's partnership energy. Okay. Now, Uranus does begin its retrograde. It goes all the way to like 5 degrees. So you're going to have, remember, Uranus energy is about different and it brings disruptions, right? Shocks and surprises brings its disruptions. So what the chart is showing real quick here for you is, all right, it goes past by itself. I'm going to give you a date on this. Let me make sure I'm looking at some other objects first here. Okay. Yeah, this is what's interesting. So as Uranus gets to this 2 degrees for you, surprises and shocks. Remember, the 12th house is our subconscious. Can also be, like karmic energy stuff from the past, but subconscious thoughts, possibly subconscious behind the scenes communications, because it's in your 12th house. So you could be, whatever your behind the scenes communications are. Which honestly, this could be somebody who, because this can be performative energy and creative energy as well. All right. So that would be like me doing a live stream right now, but not having my face on here, me behind a screen where I'm hidden, but yet I'm communicating with you, or somebody going like this, the text messaging, or just being online in general and social media, Gemini, because online, unless we're streaming, unless people can see our face, and even that's not entirely real because you're just seeing me in this context, right? But when people are leaving comments, right, or on social media when they can DM people and shit, there might be a little bit of that going on. Now, who would you be doing this with? I don't know, but this can be just writing about your subconscious, blogging about your subconscious, because it's the writer, Gemini energy. But on this timeline in June, okay, it's going to start, it's going to be trining the change energy. You have Pluto at 2 degrees in relationships here. Now, it is in the house of the children, right? But it is also significant relationship, business partnerships, but also romantic partnerships. Okay. So you're going to start feeling this even this month, because Uranus goes to 1 degrees this month and your Pluto's at 2. And if you're super sensitive, maybe that's why you're here today. Maybe you're kind of already sensing it. That's possible because you also have Juno, the opposition to my partnerships, or I'm sorry, you have Juno at 2 degrees, which will be a quincunx. I think I said opposition. It'll be a quincunx. So that just means there's something uncomfortable, domestic, in the home, right? My day-to-day routines, switching something up within those partnerships. This is deeply bonded energy, energetically bonded, Scorpio energy. So there might be a lot of history, but it can be a romantic partnership, a physical relationship. It can also be somebody that we're just deeply connected to, but something new and different. And ideas about that, thoughts and communications and ideas about that, because it's connecting to your Pluto, both Pluto over here, and then eventually the big Pluto come later on. But for Uranus right now, I would say that children and the change, and I think you kind of already are in that, where there's a lot going on, where you've got children around that you can expect. Now, the difference is this is connected to your values, 2 degrees. So your values, who I love, but it's also your self-worth within those relationships. So maybe people are overstepping boundaries type of stuff. Uranus means that change will come easily and it will be fast, very fast, like a lightning bolt. Now, Pluto would normally say, it might be something super deep where you're ripping apart a relationship, because it is a trine. So that means the fast comes deep and it just happens. But remember when I said about the psychological piece, right? There might be something where you're initiating and you're saying there's some changes that have to be made. So whether it's with your own children, whether it's with, whoever, whatever kind of children that you have in your life, or within the significant relationships, change is on the menu. It's a deep change, and love and relationships, but also business partnerships can be. But because it's in the 5th house of romance and children, I'm thinking this is more personal. Okay. But it's possible that money and values may be part of that story too, especially since Juno in Scorpio, shared values, shared money, shared assets is also going to be triggered, and it's annoying. You follow? Like if I'm helping with something and someone's kind of taking advantage of me or whatever, or they don't put forth as much, right? You know how that goes. Every mom does. A mother, and what the mothers do, it's above and beyond always. So that is what is going to occur there with the Uranus. Now, this might not be a real quick process, which is fine because it's Pluto, right? Which is slow. But Uranus is going to get to 5 and then it's going to retrograde. And so it's going to come back around to your Pluto. Okay. It's going to come back around. And so when it comes back around for you, when you feel the retrograde, right? I think you're going to feel it, like I said, pretty strongly, because it's going to come to the 2 degrees mark again. So this is around like the November going into December. All right. Where the Uranus is retrograding, irritated and annoyed by this relationship, by this partnership in the domestic side of life, and Pluto, children, joy, fun, creativity, and romance. This is that trine, and where the change will come, it will be fast and sudden and like an instant, and maybe even surprising on some level. Maybe you'll surprise yourself. Maybe someone will surprise you. Who knows? But if it's a change that you already realize needs to happen, then this would be a change where you're like, let's do this. Because that's the spirit of Uranus energy. It says, let's do this. And if we're not willing to have that, if we're not ready, then it will feel difficult if we're not ready for the change. Okay. But because it's a trine, it's like, it's an easy change. Like it easily happens. So hopefully for you, that makes sense, and that you can know the flexibility that's required with Uranus energy, especially Uranus and Gemini. This is for all of us, by the way. Uranus and Gemini affecting all of us. Children, fun, or children, coworkers, neighbors, communication and how I think, opening up our minds and being flexible. But always protecting self, never giving away too much of our energy where we have nothing left for ourselves. That's important for moms, for mom energy in general. Okay, so here we go. We're moving on. I think it's what's the tea, but let me double check. God, I think I need some water. What's the tea? I know I see pizza person, but I don't think they said No digits with them. So what's the T? Did you give digits? I thought I saw. Yeah, what's the T gave digits? What's the T? Are you still here? Before I draw up a chart, you got to tell me that you're still here. Otherwise, I'm moving on to the next name. And take a moment to let me hit the thumbs up on this thing. I think I did it, but sometimes I do it. And it's like YouTube makes it like you got to read a book before you hit the thumb. Like you have to properly hit it or it doesn't stick or some shit. Hold on a second. I got to get water. Okay, now I need a tissue for my nose. So what's the T? Let me get in this chat on the phone and see if this person's here. Oh, what's the T said I'm here. Woohoo. God, what's the T? You were on the ball. Okay, also, one thing, don't be writing me a book. Let me see. I'm interested in what to expect or what to prepare for in the near future. Also, I've been focusing on a new career. Okay, well then how about we'll just kind of focus on that. Yeah. Okay, I see Watkins Cat House. Ooh, I like that one. All right, stay with me. Don't lose me. Have some patience, folks. We'll get there. All right, so what's the Washington, D.C., 8:25 a.m.? Let's get you up here. Let's create a chart for you. All right, so Gemini, I got you in the system now. I saved that chart. Next time you come back, we should be all good. And that's the beauty of coming. Okay, so... Oh, Lord Gemini, I'm reading what you just wrote. Oh, good God. Ah, ouch. Okay. I see what you wrote, Gemini. Got it. That makes a lot of sense for what I just read. That's an evolving story. That explains a lot because it's not some quick thing. It's a Pluto and a Uranus thing. But Uranus can be an authority figure, Gemini, okay? So let me get what's the T? What's the T? Have you been here before? I mean, like in the past? That name sounds familiar. 9609. I mean, I know it's a saying, but I feel like, I don't know, like maybe it would have been a long, long time ago. I mean, years ago. Ooh, October. Ooh, you know what that means. Scorpio energy. I know people freak out with the Scorpio energy. I don't. I got really good. I don't know what the right word to use is, but I grew up around a lot of Scorpios. I'll put it like that. A lot of that energy. And yeah, I will admit I have quite a bit of it myself. It's just the reality. Okay, so you're Washington. Excellent. Okay. This District of Columbia shit, the software always gives me a hard time because if I don't phrase it the way that they have it in the system, it tells me it doesn't exist. And I'm always like, hello, what the hell? So January 29th, 1988, 8:25 a.m. Does that match? And okay, why did they do that? Okie dokie. Maybe they just put it in as DC. I forget how they word it. All right, have you seen your chart before? That is how they word it, DC, Washington. If this is correct anyway. So let me show this real quick so that you can confirm if this is your chart, because I don't want to spend time reading a chart that's not yours. That will just drive me crazy. I don't even know how I got that chart on here. All right. So this is a Aquarius rising at 19 degrees. And it has, I'm sorry, you have a moon in Gemini at 21 degrees. Ooh, this says you're a double Aquarian. Your Aquarius sun. This can't be right. Oh, it says January. What the hell? I wrote the words October in. Do you see how insane my software is? There are times when this thing just has its own freaking mind, and I'm like, excuse me, what's going on here? Yeah, there we go. That makes more sense. Okay, so we got double Scorpio energy, if this is correct. 21 degrees Scorpio rising. And this would put your moon, ooh, you're a lot of water. A moon in Cancer at 3 degrees. Is that you? Scorpio sun, Scorpio rising, and a moon in Cancer. Triple water. Holy crap. Triple water. Is that you? Yes, that's correct. Okay. Yeah, see the software, man. I swear to God, it's like it just tests me every little way that it can. And I'm like, to what end? What's the purpose of that? Look at the big ass. Holy crap. So yeah, big Merkaba energy in your chart. I mean, you've got like the Solomon star, I call it. You can see it. Big ass star, which means we have mystic rectangles too, is what that means. You've got a buttload of water energy. Even your freaking Mars and Sirius are in water, and your freaking North Node is in water. Okay, so with all that said, there's a lot here for healing, working within a healing institution. Obviously, emotions, feelings, home, family, mom, mothering, nurturing is huge. Mars 29 degrees in Pisces talks about spiritual activity, spiritual action, spirituality in action. And it's a sextile to your Uranus and your Saturn, your work, and being the boss, being the authority figure even. Whoa. You even got authority figure with Venus at 29, smart, practical Venus in Virgo. I love Venus in Virgo because they don't, they can manage their desires, right? It's practical. They put, I just think it, yeah. But having this opposition, my God, Venus and Mars both at 29. Wow. So 10th house, you've got the Virgo energy. These are like the caregivers, the nurses, people who serve others in a one-on-one capacity. Probably like some of the most important people on the planet, in my opinion. Regulus is now in Virgo energy. So you have Regulus conjunct your midheaven. You see your old school Regulus when you were born, right? 29 degrees. Well, it's now sitting here in Virgo. It's like at 1 and 0 degrees. Why it's not on this chart, I have no idea since I have this Regulus here, but it's up here. And this talks about service, where the people who serve, and yours, by the way, at 2 degrees means you can serve and make money at serving. But again, more authority figure, more boss energy. You've got it. That's Saturn up there also. Something I will commit to for the long haul. So this is career energy. And for some, especially with people who have a strong Pisces stuff, especially because you got Scorpio, these might be the death doulas, people who are present at moments like, yeah, you've got 0 degrees on the house cusp line for health and work. So extreme, maybe needing an extreme or something in the environment where there might be a sense of urgency needed, even in your work, that might appeal to you. But able to make money and the nodes being at 12. So anyway, you've got all this. I've got another person where they've got some strong stuff with that Pisces like that. And like they work with people who are, really mentally challenged, whether that's memory care units or in certain institutional wings of hospitals or whatnot, where people who just have all these other types of maybe psychological, maybe nervous system type of things going on. So I don't know if you work in the healthcare industry or not, But your chart says that you're in a healing capacity in some way, likely. And so that can look a lot of different ways nowadays, can't it? I mean, really, Virgo would even be like Reiki, people who put hands on, because it's more of a Virgo energy, which is alternative methods of healing, but going back to the basics, going back maybe possibly to something ancient, your south node at 12 degrees in Virgo. So you have to ask yourself, are you looking for a job? Is it more about a career? Or are you more tuned into what's my calling? Like that's how, because your chart's deep. It just is. This is the kind of chart you have. When you have big numbers like this, there's a depth that is required. Now, that's up for you to define that, though. I'm not going to tell you this is what that means in terms of what the depth can mean for you. Okay. You have to figure that out for you, like in what capacity you're going to do that. So, with all of that said, whether that makes sense for you, this is what your chart tells me. Yeah, you showed up at a day talking about career. We got the moon at 0 degrees in Capricorn, and that trines your 6th house cusp line at 0 degrees. You see that? I mean, I just love the astrology. There's Regulus in the transit. Oh, that's why my brain. Yeah, so Regulus is there. But the node's going to get to 2 degrees for you. And so you are going to have a change, right? You know your south node's going to be there. Now, it might mean you get some recognition and some sort of a reward even, right? It could be possibly that because of the fact that it's touching that 10th house. Okay. But it's also talking about it's connecting, the nodes are going to be connecting first with your moon. Again, the 8th house energy. So these are deep energies when the south node touches moon. This is like moon on moon energy. Again, stuff about the past and healing. But paying attention, there are going to be opportunities when people appear, especially with things that have to do with your goals and career. You've already talked about, right? You might see clear, like signposts along the way type of thing that get you to move closer. But it's, doors and opportunities can possibly open around this timeline. And so I'm looking like everybody else, end of May going into June. Okay. And depending upon how sensitive you are, things can happen sooner. Like right now, for instance, the nodes are at 6. Your vertex is at 6. So the connection, opportunities open, information comes through, one door closes, another door opens. You're in that vibration. You're in that frequency right now. And be open to the opportunities that arise. You need only have the courage to embrace them. And with your Leo energy, that definitely gives you the courage. And if you feel like you don't have a whole lot of courage, don't worry. For all of us who are feeling like we need that courage, and I'll put my hand up right along with everybody. Jupiter's going to enter Leo. Jupiter's going to enter Leo at the end of June. So that can be that timeline as Jupiter goes through the Leo energy, which it will for you, and it'll trigger. It's going to be a while though, but it will trigger where your Uranus and boss energy is in your 2nd house of income and money. You got to wait for Jupiter to go all the way. So it takes months before Jupiter gets here. Okay. Because it'll start trining it. And so if you were trying different things and it didn't follow through for you, you can be certain that, I don't know, end of the summer, well, maybe closer to October. Yep, maybe closer to October, you might land on something where you're like, yeah, this feels more like it. This is more about the big move I was thinking of. Okay. Let me look at Uranus real quick for you. Oh, Uranus is going to touch your natal Jupiter. But again, it might not trigger until it goes in reverse. You follow? However, I'm going to give you this date. Yeah. So here we are. It's June. Looking forward to something in June. Opportunities for sure, because you're going to have Uranus touching your natal Jupiter, and then Mars is going to come along. So again, Uranus can be an authority figure, somebody we look up to, but a breakaway. I'm done with this. I need something new, exciting, different, fresh. That's when fresh becomes new, becomes exciting, becomes, okay, I wanted, and Uranus energy is like lightning bolt energy. We just kind of go ahead and do it. But again, you might feel like, was that it? And remember what I said about later on in the year for you, okay? There might be something there that you find more appealing. Okay, so let's scroll this down. I hope that helps. Who was that? That was What's the Tea, right? What's the Tea? I hope that helped you. And I just got to make sure I'm paying attention to the order that y'all were in. Okay, so I think... Okay, is MD. Are you here, MD? Will I become a famous singer? Please guide me. August 15th, 2007, 5:35 p.m. I like the way you kept repeating it. That was smart. Are you still here? Oh, that person might have said, I'm out of here, huh? They stopped posting it. All right, so how about I call you MD Dad? MD.Dad, are you here? If you're not here, I'm not going to draw your chart up. I will be moving on, but you got to let me know if you're here. Yeah, you're welcome. What's the tea? I'm applying for the police department first responders position. Plus, I love making pet care products. Oh, that Mars, that 29 degrees Mars, that makes a whole heck of a lot of sense. Something that's urgent. Yeah, first responders. Yeah. Yep, something that there's a sense of urgency. Mars at 29, opposite Venus at 29. Absolutely. Yeah. Just keep in mind real quick, because that 0 degrees Taurus, this is for all of us, but you have it on your 6th house cusp line. Chiron's going to go over that point, which is fascinating because that's what you're looking to do, like something to do with service. And definitely the domestic service, serving the community, right? Remember that old saying? I don't know if that's still on police cars. Is it? It used to be. I don't know if it is anymore. Okay, so we're moving on because I just called off for MD. It was your turn. According to the chat, your name and your digits are on the screen and you're not here. So I got to move to the next person. Watkins Cat House, you're up. Are you here? You're on the screen. Watkins Cat House, are you here? We're going in order. Get your digits to me. These are speed readings. Yes, they're free. If you're somebody who wants me to spend more time, I do that for folks. Hoffman Estates. What's going on, Hoffman Estates? You're in the state. Well, it's your birth. Well, that's where I'm located. Not in Hoffman Estates, but I'm in Illinois. What was I saying? Yeah, for people who want me to spend some more time, you can send a gift to the channel. The Cash App and the Venmo are right under, in the details, right under this live stream. Right, that used to be all the time. What's the tea? That used to be all the time. That was a big thing growing up. They service the community, right? But like, yeah, it's right under the reading. I'm sorry, right under the thing. All the details are right there. You can't miss it. The Cash App is there and the Venmo is there. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm waiting to see if... I'm not going to wait much longer. I'm moving on to the next name. Watkinson's Cat House, are you here or no? Watkins. I don't know why I said Watkinson. Watkins Cat House. Okay, Watkins Cat House says I'm here. Oh, great. I just wanted to know what you see besides career, as I am a stay-at-home mom. Well, how about then you're going to get whatever jumps out at me. Make sense? But you basically are saying, please don't tell me about home. Please don't tell me about home. Don't tell me about home or career. Home is your career. Not a problem. All right, great. You're here. Let me go find your digits again. Okay, Watkinson, you have a couple different things here. I just realized this one says, I'm in a new relationship and just moved. Oh, just want to know what you see. Yeah, well, how about... Okay, let me get you up here on this thing. Let me get your chart drawn up real quick here. All right, so what's the T? We got you saved. New chart. Okay. All right, so is this... Okay, so that's December 31st, I'm assuming. Yeah, you're in America, so that's December. Oh. Sagittarius? No. 1985. Capricorn, my bad. So let's see here. 6:49 a.m. Okay. All right, I'm almost there. Give me a second. Hope I spelled that right. Is that the I before? Yeah. Just wanted to make sure. You just never know. Okay, so have you seen your chart before? Let's get it up here and let's try to confirm this. This says December 31st, 1985, 6:49 a.m., Mansfield, Ohio. Sagittarius on the ascendant. You got a lot in Saggy, actually. You have a Leo moon. Ooh. Okay. And another smart Venus, a person with a Venus in Cappy and the Cappy sun. Ooh, 0 degrees second house cusp line, 0 degrees eighth house cusp line. Yeah, there's that 0 degree mark. It really brings a sense of urgency. You know, it's like a critical thing almost, where events, things happen. And yeah, there's just a sense of urgency. It's intense. It intensifies an experience. All right, so let me, before I start reading that, let me see what you say. What is she saying? Is this her chart? Oh. Wait a minute. Oh, so you're January 23rd. Oh, my bad. How did I get December 23rd out of that? Okay, let me make a change. Thank you for telling me. January. Holy shit, how did I get that wrong? I'm totally off. Seriously? So January 23rd, 1985, is that part right? Oh, I see what I did. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So do you see the chart now? So we got a Capricorn rising, Capricorn sun. We've got a moon. Yeah. We got a Pisces moon at 1 degree. So the North Node's going to be touching on this. You're going to start feeling it soon, actually. Second house of values, money and income, desires. Some even call this the placement of second house, what you crave. Assets, what it's mine. Second house. So you have Hygeia there. Hygeia talks about the health of a thing, the health of my assets, the health of my desires. This can be tricky in that Pisces, you got a freaking ton of Pisces. So sound and music would be important, big time, beauty, but fantasy, make believe, illusions, delusions, this can also be substances. This is tricky when it comes to that. But confusing energy, very soft. But remember, Pisces is the water. We're like in the ocean, under, deep down. And so it can be murky. It can create confusing moments. Your Venus and your Mars. I'm sorry. Yeah, Venus and Mars conjunct in Pisces. Okay. Wow. So ideals, Pisces is very idealistic energy. It just depends on where a person operates, but you got a ton of water up here in Scorpio. Holy crap. Nice. Okay. So this probably helps actually. This gives it a focus and a direction. So it's not just flailing out there on the seas without a freaking mast or an engine. Having the trine energy to your South Node, which is your Scorpio superpower. Oh, Lord. Crazy psychic energy, too. Do you ever feel like that? You even have a Pluto at 4 degrees. Woo. Deep, intense energy here. Whoa. Now, what might taper this a little is that we have disciplined Saturn here. So there's just like the authority figure and power. Intense. Really strong. This can be, it's like dad energy, authority figure in the placement of the authority figure. So shared values, shared assets, deep bonded energy. Really part of your goals and career. Okay, so now with that, I just got to kind of understand this basic chart here. You do have Chiron sitting right there on the 5th house. Okay, got it. 5th house of children, fun, joy, creativity, romance. Chiron can be a wound. It can be sibling energy, but peers, and it can be children. Like children we're teaching, like homeschool type of energy, for sure. Okay. Chiron can also represent, yeah. All right. So it's a trine to your Uranus 3-degree sun. Let me verify. I just started looking at that and I didn't even see her. Did she say yes? Yes, Aquarius sun. Okay, good. Oh, wait, do I have the wrong? So is January 23rd, 1985, do I have this correct? I just went back over to the thing just to double check. January 23rd, 1985. Yeah. Right? Okay. That's what we're working with. Okay, good. So I'm correct. Got it. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. Wow, you had a lot that was connecting with that too. The Humea was connecting, or I'm sorry, Hygeia and the sun. Interesting. But Aquarius sun. Oh. The authority figures for sure, especially of the mind and learning. Oh my God. Yeah, lightning bolt. These are the scientists, Oh, and you have a structured way of thinking too with that Capricorn. Oh, wow. That could have been a real benefit. Okay, so with all that said, let me kind of get a glimpse now of what that's going to mean for you. So Uranus energy is going to be over here. Uranus is going to create disruptions, changing things up. It screams new. Now, I think you said you had already moved. Uranus isn't at 1 degree just yet. So maybe this is a part of getting settled in, but I think it's more than that. I don't know how old your kids are. 85. Oh, yeah, they're probably. But the 3 degrees, in that location, the mind, the way I talk and communicate. So it can be children, a child. It can be a spouse. Pretty wild, though, isn't that? Like my romantic partner is the same placement as my children. This is the location of fun. Yep. Being active, being creative. And so you're going to have Uranus touching that cusp line, but also you have a Chiron there. And this brings up a wound, but it's a wound that was already there. Okay. But it will reflect, and it goes back and talks about the communication style and our thoughts and what we're talking about and how we're talking about it, how we're sharing and learning information. So this may pull in beliefs too, because Uranus can be really disruptive. It can be unsettling because it's going to, if it messes around with 3 degrees, it means it's messing around with up here, right? Now, this can be your community too, like where you live, because that's Gemini as well, like your new neighborhood and the kids in the neighborhood, possibly. Absolutely. Especially if there's like, oh, I don't know. I know one year it seemed like everybody got like a go-kart and it was like, holy hell. They had the gas-powered go-karts riding up and down the street. It was so freaking loud. I was like, who the hell? The whole family had one. I was like, really? Then their neighbors got them. And I'm like, okay, this shit's getting crazy. And that's what Uranus was the last time it was in Gemini. Literally just a year ago for us here, I was like blown away. I'm like, okay, our neighborhood was nice and quiet. Now it's loud as hell. But yeah, this can be school kids. This can also be like the neighborhood and the library. Let me see what else here. Let's pull up some transits because nothing in particular other than that, because you got the Chiron coming up big there, and health in 2 areas popping up. The health of my values, connecting with the Chiron stuff. So when we talk about the Chiron, it just, again, talks about the mind and our ability to adapt to new ideas and to learn and to be flexible. Maybe even a little slow, that because it's a wound. And so it could, yeah. However that makes sense in your life. Sibling energy as well, by the way, if I didn't already say that. So yeah, there's the node. And it'll be connecting with that for you. Okay, so this is going to go retrograde. It's going to touch there. Yep. That's how you express and talk and communicate, and your mind comes up again. Okay, so there's some stuff going on, whether it's the way that you relate and communicate, but the mind energy and being probably more focused. Gemini energy tends to be all over the damn place because it's so busy. The mind's moving fast and it's scattered. And your 3-degree sun in Aquarius has a very quick mind, right? The energy of 3 and Aquarian energy go together. They're like rocket scientist energy, but it's coming up in multiple places in the chart. So let's take a look. Okay, that's not going to happen for some time. You're going to have Jupiter going. All right, Jupiter's going to be finishing up. No, Jupiter's going to stay continue to be in your 7th house. And then, yep, Jupiter's going to go into children. All right. Don't want to. What I do like is that for the month of May anyway, having the Taurus energy and having the transits going in Taurus and being in there, it can give a really nice sense of stability. Because you have your North Node in Taurus at 24. And so Sirius, right now, Sirius and the Sun and even Mercury. I mean, I know this chart's a week out, but they're all going to be touching on that. And so that North Node in Taurus energy, it talks about patience and a deep sense of self-worth. Talks about letting go of, especially because it's at 24 degrees, letting go of drama. Not to say that you're dramatic. It's just because it's the Pisces degree, letting go of the dreams possibly, or dreams that you've kind of outgrown where you realize that's not really a dream for me. But interesting. It's interesting because the South Node connected to your Saturn, which would lead back to work for you. Fascinating. But you're right. The North Node is what you're supposed to do. It's about being at home. So learning the value of persistence and consistency, simple routines, steady effort, a connection to the natural world can be incredibly nourishing for you. So at this time, this is really like a week out, May 12th. you're going to have this symbol right here, which is nurturing, right on your north node. So financial and independence and material security, material stability may also be important themes for you at this time. It's lessons about not hoarding wealth. It's about understanding that creating security for oneself allows us to feel safe, creative, and more fully alive. Yeah, this is all in the placement of your home. And this is what you would need to feel emotionally secure. And since your Sirius is in Taurus, you already know this. And you probably got a reminder of the last couple of days because the sun would have touched it. Now, let me go and move this node up for you because that's what jumped out was your moon in the beginning. So let's talk about that. And by the way, that is home, but it's also mom and family. Okay. It's not just home like the sticks and the bricks. It's mom and family as well. Does talk about the past and the emotional security and emotional stability that a person's going to need. And independence might be a thing because you kind of have some strong boss energy in your chart. Just saying. So here it is for you, June. Experiences are now likely to teach you more than you can learn from books. Yep. It's a time to let go of past hurts and grudges. It's a time where past hurts, and grudges may have been held on too tightly. However, it's now a time in your journey to release and to let go. They've created like a ball and chain and anchors. It says before you can truly move on toward your destiny, you have to let those things go. And as you do this, you will see clear signposts as to how to move closer to your goals. Opportunities and doorways will open. Now, this is related to emotions, feeling, home, and family, but also your independence. Your independence. And this independence within the home and within your emotions, high sensitivity, hopefully you're aware, you probably are, of the strong, I'm the sponge of the zodiac at 1 degrees. My body's sensitive, my feet are sensitive. Like Pisces tends to sponge up everybody else's energy around it. So establishing healthy boundaries because it's at 1 degrees would be important if you haven't already mastered it. Okay. So as far as relationship energy, I think Uranus going through that 5th house, again, I already spoke about it, but Uranus promise is excitement. So whether it's your own children, whether it's a new relationship, an old relationship, or whoever your romantic partner is, Uranus says new, different, and exciting. But just keep in mind, because of the Chiron that's there, it might trigger some sort of a wound that you've had. And this is a buried wound from a long, long time ago, not even necessarily connected to anybody you know right now or that you're related to. Like these things go deep. Okay. Hope that makes sense for you. Yes, Princess, you came back. I called you first. You were here first. You disappeared on me, or your internet went out, or whatever it was. But yeah, you'll be in the rotation. Let's see where we're at in our timeline. Who else I'm reading next? Donna. Hey, what's going on, Donna? I see you healing readings. Oh, thank you for the channel gift. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know the name of whoever sent this exactly. I mean, I do, but it's not the name in the chat, so I don't want to reveal that. Someone just sent, yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. You know who you are. If you just sent it. Yeah, within the last 5 minutes, you know who you are. Okay. So let's roll along and see. All right, we did What's the Tea? Sinister Days, are you here? MD, I already said your name. You didn't raise your hand after that. Okay, the Watkins Cat House. I hope that made sense for you. Seeking justice. Are you here? Wanting to assure the right time to stand front lines for child advocacy rights against abuse. Seeking justice. Are you still here? Yeah, Princess, you'd be right after seeking justice if I'm looking at this right. Yeah, so much water. What's the tea? Yeah. It's hard. Oh, that was probably what's the tea. I just wanted to know what you okay, so let me see who answered. Howdy. Yeah, you can do stuff about that. What's the tea about the water? Having that much water, you can do stuff. You know what water does really well with? Earth. Yeah. That's how you ground it, where it doesn't get so lost, and so you earth it. Earth it up, baby. So get out there and get your plants going, get your vegetable garden, whatever on whatever level that works for you. Get earthy. Get earthy. Yep. Earth and water make things happen together. They can make mud. People have made houses out of that. So you can do something with that. Staying grounded, staying connected in a tangible way. You know, if the water makes you feel like, you're getting, yeah, lost in the whatever. Yeah, connect with earth. And that can be earthy people who you feel like are really grounded as well. Any activities that you feel like what do people call that? The earthing, take off the socks and shoes, literally walk on the dirt, walk on the grass. There are things you can do. Eating certain foods that ground us, for sure. And you know what I'm going to start doing? I keep forgetting to ask you guys this, to tell me your blood type as well. Because I have a theory that I've been working on, but I just haven't started working on. I've started it with myself, with my housemates, but I have to kind of expand upon it. Okay, so nobody else answered. I don't see. Let me see. Maria Mack says, Aquarius sun. I did homeschool my girls. Yes, you do. I always thought I was Aquarius. Okay, so Princess AK, you might be coming up quicker. Okay. I just wanted to know, okay. Hey, first timer. Hello, everyone. Well, hello there. How are you? Okay, so Seeking Justice isn't here. So Princess AK, let's go. I believe I said you were next because I was waiting on the, I know people just grab their phones like, ooh, free reading. I'll take one. Right? And then you leave. I get it. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Let me get this in here. Let me make sure this is good. Let me save your chart. There we go. Okay. All right. So Princess AK, we're going to rewrite you up. Oh, negative. Okay. Yeah, earth tips. And for the O negative, thank you for listening and responding to this. So do you find that how do I put this? Yeah, do you find that you How about we do it with food? This might be easier. So with food, do you consider yourself someone who has to have meat, like, you know, land animals, which is fine, right? There's no judgment here. I don't want people to feel like, oh God. No, this is seriously me trying to figure out the connection between blood types and people's birth charts. Like that's all, and food is kind of the easiest thing to talk about, I think. I mean, there's other things, but I would probably rather do them in a private live stream. You know what I mean? Instead of that. So yeah, food's kind of like the easy thing. Or if you eat meat, do you find that you, I don't know, do you feel like you have difficulties if you eat meat? Or do you prefer? Like, do you, because I know people who are like, yeah, I have to have meat. Or some people feel like they can't digest it, right? Um, I know some of it takes some thought and we got to think about it. Okay, so Princess AK, let me go find your digits. Um, oh gosh. So Princess AK. I don't know what to say anymore. I have to try to figure out how to explain that I did used to have your digits, but we're in a new system now. And this system, it created an incorrect chart for the digits that you gave me. So if you could please give me your digits yet again, because I deleted the incorrect chart, which means all of your information went with it, because I want to start over fresh. Did that make sense? And I don't know how else to say that. So I know it's a pain in the ass. Trust me, I'm the one recreating the charts. It's a pain in the ass. I get it. It is. But I mean, if you want your chart read, I would need your stuff. Okay? It's just that simple. And yeah. It really would help if you emailed it too, because then I could go and refer to the email. But either way, at this point, we're here. Let's see if we can create you another chart. Hey, superior. Yeah, get me your digits, because I'm trying to create a chart for somebody right now, but they seem to have disappeared. I don't have their digits, so I'm going to the next person. I'm not waiting. I'm moving right along. So get your digits, and if you don't want to put them in the chat, send them to the Gmail that's on the screen. Allastrology. Make sure you spell it correctly. Allastrology@gmail.com. And it's not spelled the way that it's spelled on the channel. The Gmail spelling is different. Maybe that's why that causes a problem. And I know it's a pain in the ass for people. But I will stick it right there. That's it. I was a vegetarian for 16 years. I eat meat now, but not much and no pork. Okay. So did you feel that you do better? I guess is what I'm saying. Do you feel you do better with having the meat, with bringing the meat back into your diet? Do you feel like you do better? Okay, Donna, thank you. No, I'm not much of a meat eater. In fact, I have to force myself to eat meat. Yeah, so you have to force yourself to eat meat. That's the key right there. That is the key right there. The thing is, for some reason, you found that you need to eat meat, right? Yeah. Yeah, with a chart with that much water too, especially all the Pisces energy. Okay, let's go. Let's create Doug's chart. Princess said, "Can you do me a reading?" And I don't, Princess. I'm sorry, but I don't know what goes on. But every time, um, I don't know if it's the internet. I don't know what it is. I mean, yeah. Whenever you guys walk away, for whatever the reason is, everybody has issues, whatever they are, whether it's internet, who knows? I have to go to the next person, and you just come on back and wait your turn. It's that simple, right? So right now I'm on Super Dougie 10. Got your digits. That's great. Thank you. And you got your birth time. Excellent. We're rolling through this. Okay. I tell you, this software. All right. So that means we've got February 12th, 1963. And I think you said 12 noon. Great. Oh, so wow. Does that mean you don't know your birth time? Or does that mean your birth certificate really was 12 noon? Either answer is correct. But each answer tells me something different. So that's why I'm asking. Okay. So have you seen your chart before? Let me get it on the screen. Super Dougie. Super Dougie. So this is showing you as a Aries ascendant at 25 degrees. Wow. A retrograding Mars in Leo conjunct your moon. Holy shit. Is this your chart? A Pluto at 11. Ooh, a Saturn at 11. A Jupiter at 11. No way. Is this you? Is this your chart? Where did Super Dougie go? Yes. Oh, really? So that is in your birth chart? I mean, the birth certificate, it said 12 noon. Okay. This is like a wow chart, man. You've got some, you've got some, first of all, yeah, strong Uranian tendencies here. Big time. And holy crap. Yeah, retrograding Mars, conjunct moon, in Leo energy of romance and children, sports, for sure. Entertainment. Oh my God. Life of the party. Holy shit. Good God. Entertaining for sure. Laughter, fun, very physical and athletic kind of energy here. Now let me see the aspects. You might have something angling that says, oh no. But that's what jumped out was that freaking Mars. And that it trines the moon and the Mars trine your ascendant. Yeah, you have a strong ass fire trine here. You really do. I mean, the galactic center even is part of it. In your ninth house cusp line of travel and publishing and speaking and preaching and seeking and searching, going on a journey. Like you got a lot of energy here to just explore. Holy crap. Uranus at 4 degrees in emotions in the fifth house. Mom, home, family, disruptive, unique, really, really, really unique home life. Even Pluto is there. Deep changes at 11 degrees, a lot of 11 degrees in your chart. Again, disruptions, surprises, sudden. Yeah. Consciousness raising experiences. Your Saturn's at 11 too. Holy shit. Authority figures, might be a little bit of clashing going on there. Yikes. Jupiter, opposite of your Pluto. You've got the authority figures like at 11 degrees in your chart. Holy crap. The sun in Capricorn. Holy crap. Yeah, more authority figure at a Jupiter degree. Oh, wow. So was dad like a. You heard what I wanted to say, right? Well, it's just that could be like excessive rules, excessive structure, big on discipline and work, hard work and duty and responsibility. But then the Saturn there, yeah, astrology, big time, scientists, different, unique. But group energy is huge here. And so you got this big ass kite. Oh, I wonder where your Reiki is. I'm curious about that. I don't know why. Third house. So Vega right at your midheaven. Holy smokes. You have Sekhmet there too. Ooh. Wow. Daughter of the sun god Ra, warrior goddess as well as goddess of medicine at your midheaven. Okay. But it's at the public degree. Really interesting. Venus in the 8th house. That's the healing house. Change and transformation. But you have Jupiter over there. Yeah. Healing institutions or institutional energy in general, government energy, but traveling could be a big one. Fantasy. Yeah. Okay. So with all that said, you have Pallas Athena at 11 as well. Holy crap. What a crazy, strong, wild ass chart you have. I love it. It's like, wow. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let me go look. Where's my phone? I was told I'm a Gemini rising. Oh, okay. Well, let me stop. I'm so glad I looked at that phone. So you think you're Gemini rising? You could be, especially if some of the things I said so far made no sense. Well, I really only talked about the fire, but man, if you are a different rising sign, which you could be, sometimes the software, I swear I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's really putting me through through some stuff. Let me double check it really quick. Let me check it really quickly here. Let me see how quickly I can get this in here. So January 12th, all that's correct. Oh no, maybe that's not correct. I put birth digits in and sometimes it changes. I had February and somehow it went to January. That's probably the problem. This chart says, what the hell? Why does it? It says January. This is the second time it did that today. Right? Okay, Gemini rising, different chart. There it is. February 12th, 1963, 12 p.m. Lincoln, okay. All right, so now this gives us, yes. Ooh, Aquarius sun at 23 degrees at the Aquarian degree. Interesting. You still have a lot of strong Aquarius energy in your chart. 11's all over the place still. Gemini rising, 7 degrees Gemini rising, and a 9-degree moon in Libra, triple moon. Holy shit. Communication in the mind, talking, wow, relating, back and forth is a huge deal here. All right, your moon trines your ascendant. And yeah, you have a nice trine to your midheaven at 12 degrees, and you have something right at 7. You have Ishtar there, Ooh, divine feminine represents nurturing and a fierce aspect of femininity, powerful blend of love and war, reflecting the dual nature, expressing an inner strength, especially in relation to the object of one's passions. At 7 degrees, that would be relationships, personal or private. And it would be unconventional, group energy, friends. Okay. So still intense energy. You got Mars now. Yep, still sitting there at 11, but not in the 5th house of sports. Now this is in your 3rd house of communication. It's a retrograding Mars at 11 degrees in Leo. Still pretty dynamic, still very colorful. Yeah, quite a creative communicator. Okay. But this would be a caution with the retrograde Mars of taking action before having an opportunity to kind of think it through. Mars is a little impatient. All right. So with that said, you're going to have Uranus has been going through your 12th house. You have a large 12th and 6th house. So Uranus is going to make it. Not this year, though. Uranus goes to 5 degrees and then backs up. But what it is going to do is it's going to get close to your ascendant, and that's going to give you a taste of what's to come. And that won't be until 2027, though. Yeah, right? So Uranus goes on somebody's ascendant, and we change our appearance. We could even change our location. We could change our home. We could change our work. It can, there can be some things that we're like, I need a refresh. This is stale. It's old. Your local community can change even. Your local community can be quite disruptive even. It just wants fresh. It needs to break away. It's really fiercely independent energy. Is Uranian energy fiercely independent? So this timeline, this right here, I'm looking at is October. That's when Uranus starts its retrograde. Yeah, more accurately, how about September? Yeah, we'll move it up. I would definitely go to September. Let me see what's happening in September in general for you. If there's anything, yeah, you got Uranus at 3. Okay, that explains a lot. That's why this Uranus popped out. So this is kind of a big deal for you because you're going to have a connection with Pluto to your natal Uranus energy. Okay, so this is unconventional. It's different. It's disruptive. It does say I need a new routine. It's in the home. It's in emotions. It's with the family. It is domestic energy, okay? So it can have to do with literally where you live, like the sticks and the bricks, like in the house. Sometimes when people need that disruption, it can be, this is likely not a one-day thing. This is likely something that you feel that you needed coming on. And so some people just get new furniture. Some people renovate. Some people do physical stuff and move things around, and they paint or whatever. They switch things up. 3 degrees, if this is, that's the degree of coworkers and siblings and peers and neighbors. You follow? Sometimes people, I have 2 housemates. Things change, right? But sibling energy, home and family and siblings may be a thing too. And it could be connected with health. Other than just the routines, it can be connected with health, maybe the health of mom, maybe your own health, maybe the health of your emotions, but strong feminine energy. The mind, talking, and communication and relating. And a small, quick example of this for me is my health routines, not necessarily for me, or not necessarily just for me in terms of my own life, but towards my mother and her life and her health routines. Like I was literally, seriously part of her every single day routines. And so we had to switch things up. And that was definitely disruptive energy. It changed the cycle. It just changes it. So Pluto In that ninth house of the beliefs about your future, it's thinking about its own freedom and independence, but the group energy is big. And you have, see, the Neptune up there is also going to be making in contact. So that means it's a finger of God for you. Neptune and Pluto will be retrograding at the same time. And at the top of the finger of the God is Uranus, independence. Do you work from home? Because you have Virgo in the fourth house. You don't have to answer that here, but there's something you're switching up in the home. This is really more specific now because it's the beliefs connected to your future, possibly something connected to, who knows, but it's different because it's Aquarius. So for me to tell you, it's Aquarius. It's unique. It's different. Freedom and independence is just huge. But then even Neptune is music and sound. But you even have something at 3 degrees, the cornucopia. You have abundance there. The cornucopia can be a material as in material wealth or physical as in physical abundant energy. It could also be the energy of other people. It can enhance the energy of other points in the chart and the contact that you come in with. And sometimes it could even be a green thumb to help things grow. And that's interesting because Virgo is a crafty creator. Some people use their Virgo to literally, like, they sew or crochet, or they do things with plants and animals, earthy kind of stuff. Or they might even, paint and build things like in small crafty ways, But yeah, this is the finger of God for you, Uranus energy. Very independent energy, standing out from the crowd. And this is within home and family and health and job and day-to-day routines and habits. But the 3 degrees is your mind. There might be something there where the Pluto and the subconscious and the Neptune connecting with the higher realm, connecting with the big picture. This is what this does. It shows us the big picture. Pluto reveals the truths. And Uranus can be a little bit of the one who brings the upsets, possibly. So whether you're going to be the one upsetting the routine or somebody else upsets the routine, but an authority figure. Maybe it's you, the authority of your own life, or a boss at the job, but it's in the home, okay? It's in the home. So that is September, the middle of September. And I would say even before then, because it's going to be these two big planets at the 3 that are retrograding that triggers. And you're at 341. Okay. So these need to be higher in degree. Okay, so you could probably say August. Yep. Something there in August where you have change coming. And I don't think it's like a complete upset, but it's definitely something that either you're initiating or the family or whatever you consider the family unit where a change needs to be made. Makes sense. Uranus retro. Yeah. Uranus, anytime we have a retro anything, it internalizes it. Like we feel the energy of that change, of the energy of I need different, new, I need to break away, I need to be free, but we're internalizing it. So when we internalize it because of the retrograde, it intensifies the energy. And then we finally express it, like it comes out by our actions, by our words. Because yeah, it's almost like someone shaking up a bottle, that's carbonated. And it doesn't always come flushing out or exploding out like a volcano, but it's usually seen because it's like, whoa, what are you up to? Like you always do this at this time. What's going on? Or you're always in this location working in, like I went through this not too long ago. And I'm in a different location, different devices, but I'm still doing the same thing. But yet there was a major change, you see? So for some, it can be a huge change where they're like, I'm done doing what I do, period. Where they just say we're throwing out the baby in the bathwater, or they're just making some strategic changes. Okay, so it can be a little bit of that for you, but communications number 3 is big, and Uranus, that makes a lot of sense for you. All right, so let me see where we're at because let me see. I don't have a okay. Oh, I'm sorry. What's the T? I'm gonna have to pick you up on that conversation another time. I see I got a couple more names here. I really loved you. Hey, we spoke the other day. I would really love for you to read my chart. Well, I would really love if you want me to read your chart to give me your birth digits because that's the only way I can read your chart. I'm so glad you corrected the Gemini rising. So Sean Connolly gave their digits. Sean Connolly, are you still here? August 16th, 1985. Are you here, Sean Connolly? Because that you would be next, unless I'm reading this wrong. How does it work? That's how it works. You put your digits in. Yep, you get your digits in. Very good. And we go in order. So just so we know, just so we're clear, you're going to have to be the last person I take. All right, we're doing speed readings. If you want me to spend more time on your chart, you send a gift to the channel. Okay, otherwise I'm just going to go through them. Follow? But you can come back again. I'm on Saturday nights. Well, this Saturday, we're at a private astrology class. Anybody interested in that, send me an email. But we'll be back the following Saturday. I'll be back next Tuesday. So you just get your digits to the email. I've got the email running across the bottom of the screen and say, G, I want to get a speed reading or I want a reading, whatever it is you want. And then I'll let you know, yeah, I'll be live on Tuesday. Be ready or whatever. Okay? Communication, folks, that helps. Okay, so is Sean here? Because otherwise I'm moving on to the next name that came into the chat. Sean, are you here? I got your stuff on the screen. If you're not here, then I'm going to go to the next person who is, hi, how does this work? Alec. So Alec, if the person I've called out doesn't speak up, then I'll be creating your chart next. Holy shit, you're going to have to help me with the English for the city, though. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, Sean is here. Okay. Okay, so first it's Sean and then Alec. Okay, and then Alec, you're going to be the last one, all right? All right. Yeah, when I pop on, I'm here for 2 hours. So when you guys see that, you got to get your digits in. And yeah, wait your turn. All right, so we got Sean is here, which is great. Let's get it on here. All right, Sean, I see you there. There it is. All right, this time we're going to go a little bit slower so that this darn thing doesn't play games with me. Okay, and August 16th. Uh, 1422, very good. And Kettering, that's how you pronounce it. Okay. Some of my favorite people are from England. All right, August 16th, 1985, 2:22 p.m., Kettering, England. If I'm pronouncing anything wrong, I apologize. Let's see if we can get this up here. What do you think? Have you seen your chart before? This chart is telling me so far, I've got you as a Scorpio on the rising. Is that right? Ooh, you were born on a new moon. Holy shit. Is that right? Leo sun, Leo moon. Even your Mercury and Mars conjunct in Leo. Is this you? Woo, nodes at 12 degrees. What an interesting chart. Wow. Ooh. So are you a Scorpio rising with a Leo moon at 25 and a Leo sun at 23? Huh. This says you have Saturn on your ascendant. That would be difficult. That would have been difficult the first year of life. Bones and teeth and skin. Yeah, that's over the ascendant there if that's you. Plus you have Uranus in the first house. Yeah, sometimes knees. Sometimes people have issues with their legs and their structures and stuff like that with their body when they're really small like that. But let's see. I got to look a little bit longer and see if there's anything squaring you or angling that. Let me go see what he says if this is. Yes, Scorpio rising. Yay, we got you. Venus in Cancer. Yeah. Well, this says you were born on a new moon. You've got a sun and a moon conjunct. Leo energy, very colorful, lively. This person walks into the room kind of lights up. Maybe, this person can be super fun. Jokes, laughter, jovial, generous. Their light can brightly shine because it's Leo all in the 9th house. And with the Mercury retrograding, okay, so you internalize a lot of the thoughts, a lot of the, maybe some of the humor, but conjunct Mars, yeah, there might be a lot of that energy that maybe if it's not expressed through words, which I find hard to believe in the 9th house, that's Jupiter. Like it thinks it's the preacher and it knows the truth and it's got to share it with everybody, right? Like Saggy energy in general, 9th house. So this can be a person who can be, let me see before I make any other comments. So you've got trine energy going to that. Yeah, this would be a pretty smart person. I think so, for sure. Do you get concepts quickly? I mean, you have Aquarius in your 3rd house. You do have Jupiter there, though, but still. You have Uranus trining your freaking Mercury. Like the mixture of Uranus and Mercury, everybody knows, right? Rocket scientist energy. These are the smart ones. Yeah. But you've got a strong fire trine. You got a big-ass kite in that chart. Yeah. And the tip of that kite is your Mercury. Interesting. This is a powerful kite you have because it's the nodes that make up this kite. You've got the north and the south node, Jupiter and Ishtar, and then Mercury and Mars at the top. Wow. That's pretty powerful. So communication is a big deal. Writing, communications, talking, can be social media, but action too, not just sitting on my hands. And Leo thinks it's the boss, by the way. So Jupiter thinks it's the boss, 9th house, but the sun thinks it's the boss for sure. And you were born on a new moon. And so these folks have a certain amount of over the top for you, especially. Well, wait, hold on. You do have a nice square, thank God. Thank God for this big T square. This would be the saving grace. Otherwise, you'd be a person that some people might want to slap. And that's, I really do mean that in the kindest way. I'm being serious here. I really mean that in the kindest way. Because when we are overly confident, which this chart could have a tendency to be overly confident, really courageous, there might be a touch of arrogance at times because of the strong Uranus connection to the Mercury. Do you see where I'm going? So having that T-square energy would probably help to keep its feet on the ground, to help it realize, yeah, just, we're all humans type of thing. But yeah, and if it's not overly confident, then this can be extremely dramatic energy, can be really over the top. Like I said, colorful, but fun and laughter, parties, Yeah, just like I want to have a good time. So traveling would probably be fun, right? But higher education and learning can be all of that as well for you. And thank God, right? You got a simple um, earthy Virgo at your midheaven. So she could keep you grounded, but she's at the body degree. So your health and your physical body. Yeah. So maybe um, that might also be a thing that helps that really overconfident possibility that I see over there is that this Uranus squares the midheaven and the IC. So the emotions, the home and the family. Uranus can be nerves and the nervous system. And yeah, things about the future, but health. So my beliefs, my ideals, my dreams, my routines, my career. Uranus can be an authority figure who kind of just creates that stress and tension because this is the battle between the two authority figures, basically. Like, hey, I am the authority of my life, but if somebody else tries to put authority upon you, it probably wouldn't feel real good. Okay, so with that, your nodes at 12 tells me, yeah, there's some history here. That's, again, more Pisces energy. So it can be very idealistic, but when we think old school, we think religions, right? If we're beyond the old school, if we've kind of elevated, depending upon where we're at in our journey, because you have a Pluto at 2 degrees, really deep, deep, powerful, intense energy. Doesn't like to talk or think about small things. It's more focused on getting to the truth. It's in the 11th house. Wow. Um, I think this energy is going to add to the depth of the past, like that soul energy, kind of wisdom. And yeah, they call number 12 karmic energy. So that's in your 12th house, right? And the 12th house is also considered the karmic energy, but this is your self. No, this was the past. Now your job is service. Service to those that you're close to those that you value. Your job now in the North Node in Taurus is to share the light, put the light upon others' paths for them. And with all that energy up there in the Leo and the placement of preaching and publishing, yeah, if you're not doing it on some level, then, even if it's just to children, right? It doesn't have to. Sometimes when people say things, people get like these really glamorous ideas of how that's going to look. And they think, really, I'm going to do that. And it's like, it can look in such a small way, like in ways people don't realize how their very small actions can make a huge difference in somebody's life, you know. But Leo is children, fun, and creativity, and even sports, right? Like I said, was started talking earlier. But the ninth house beliefs and travel, a philosophy on life, freedom and justice is the ninth house, and the law as well, big time. So since Mars is there, perhaps this is somebody who does that, like uses their physical body, because you do have a trine from Uranus. Oh, that could be tricky. That could be tricky. With Uranus and Mars, whenever they're mixed together, I always express caution big time. And yours trine. Uranus trines your Mars and your Mercury. Your Mars and your Mercury are like this, which means my thought and my actions are like as one almost, right? So people with that kind of strong energy, they might need to actually have extra ways to take up a sport and get out that physical power and that physical actions. But I'm still kind of curious about your Saturn in your first house. That's supposed to create physical restrictions on your body. Might be spinal stuff. This would have been at a really young age, like you were just born. Matter of fact, you were born and this is where Saturn was. So maybe the birthing process, there were some restrictions, some difficulties. Maybe you wouldn't know about it. Mom would know about it. That might be the thing for sure. But this says, yeah, you might even have possibly have been in the hospital for a while as a youngster because of the 21 degree, because of Saturn, meaning very structured, very structured. Interesting. You do have Chiron in the 7th house. Again, another object at the 13 degrees. Yeah, that trines your Jupiter. Wow, you have a lot of strong stuff here. And you have smart Pallas Athena. Oh, well, then there's probably no reason to talk about this. You know, that can be a wound with my mind and my learning style, or the way that I learn, and spouses and partnerships. But you also have Pallas Athena. She's the strategist, receiving a strong trine from Jupiter, group energy, rocket scientist energy in the 3rd house of the mind. But yeah, caution with the Uranian energy is where I'm going to end this off. Caution, Uranus and Mercury and Mars. Sometimes it can it can be the lightning bolt, right? Where the action of Mars, it can move so fast, it can be prone to accidents even, okay? Because that's anytime you mix Mars and Uranus energy. Now, that just means that yeah. But it does trine the house of athletics, taking risks. And maybe, just maybe, you've already learned how to work with all that. And if that's the case, spectacular. But it might be good to know going forward into the future. You know, if there's things and events that you've been involved in and you're like, what the hell? But just so you know, as far as work and money and income, your 2nd house Capricorn, boss energy again comes up, structured energy. You have Neptune there. So that suggests structures within society, like institutional energy. So whether it's hospitals, prison systems, but this usually Capricorn is, corporate America, but there's some high ideals here even possibly. But it's really, at that 1 degree, it's really much, there's a lot there about self. And so sometimes Neptune at 1 degree again can be very dramatic energy, but I don't know about all that with it in Capricorn. It kind of balances it out. But there might be some illusions and delusions about self. That's a possibility, just because it's Neptune, just so you know. Self and my values, whether it's my income, my money, that can all be part of it. All right. So we are here every Tuesday, but sometimes it won't be on a Tuesday, but absolutely Monday through Friday, I'm going to pick a day. I'm trying to do more than 1 day a week. I just haven't figured out when the other day will be yet. But your birth digits, you can send to the email. It's right there on the screen, Allastrology. You got to spell it right or I don't get them. Send that to me, your birth digits, birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. Let me know you want a reading. We do speed readings. Those are for free. Okay. If anybody wants a little bit of extra time as I'm doing your chart, you can just send a gift to the channel. It's just you sending a gift. Okay. And so I spend more time on folks who send. That's Venmo and PayPal. It's right below. It's right under the live stream. Okay. We end every day. I'm in the central time zone. We end at 4 o'clock when I do this. Okay. So if you've sent me your digits and if I didn't get a chance to get to you, come back again next week. I'm usually live on Saturday nights as well, but I go every other Saturday. Okay. Because this Saturday is our astrology class. So if anybody's interested, you can also inquire about that. It's affordable. It's at any level. You can also catch the recordings of those, so you can do them at your own speed. You let me know where you're at, and I'll meet you wherever you're at. All right. And we're done. That's it. Thank you, everybody who sent a gift to the channel. And remember, if you sent digits, I'll email you back and I'll say, I'll put you in my system. Come on back next Tuesday. Or maybe sooner, I might do a surprise live. And if it's a surprise live, trust me, it's a surprise to me as well. It just depends on what's going on in the household, the time of day, the equipment, the frickin' internet. It just depends on all that good stuff. Okay. So thank you, everybody. And I will see you next time. Take care.